I'm Michelle Carney with IdeateTV here at the Dances of Films Festival, and I'm with Bo from Tequila Nazi.
Hello.
Hello, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so for our viewers who haven't seen the film, seen the trailer, give us a quick overview and also tell us your role in the project.
So it's about a French family man who in the 1970s set out to find and kill the Nazi officer who had murdered his father. And he really grew up having no idea who he was, what happened to his dad, who disappeared one day. And after finding out that he was captured and sent to Auschwitz, where he was murdered, decided to take revenge. But ends up really taking a different path than he ever imagined.
Okay. We got to leave a little to viewers.
Yes, I can't give it all away.
Can't give it all away.
Right.
And what was your role in the project?
Director, writer, producer.
All right. And what inspired this?
I actually set out to do a completely different project.
Oh,
this
okay.
was not the one. In 1976, I was 9 years old, and an Air France flight was hijacked and taken to Entebbe, Uganda. And a week later, Israeli commandos rescued the hostages. And out of that, a few heroes emerged. Like, for instance, the commander who led the raid, etc. One in particular stood out was the Air France captain, the captain of the flight that was hijacked. His name was Michel Cojot. And the reason he became so exalted is because he supposedly had a chance to leave. There was a release at some point where they released 47 hostages. He had a chance to join them, but he decided to stay.
Wow.
With his crew. So his 11 crew members, they all stayed. And as a result, he became this big hero. Here he had a chance to save his life, but he said, no, I'm staying with my passengers. So I set out to make a documentary about him.
Okay.
And while I was interviewing him in his apartment, a great guy, please, I mean, really, nothing against him.
I'm sure, yeah.
Wonderful guy, charming, everything you'd imagine. But halfway through the interview, you're a journalist, so you'll relate to this. My heart sank because I understood that whole story I just told you was made up. Made up, never happened.
Really?
Complete fabrication, yes.
Oh, no.
It was only based on the information he was volunteering. I wasn't pursuing it yet. Now, when I started to realize it, I started to ask more questions in that vein. But I was shocked. So I interviewed more former hostages who were in Entebbe, and they kept telling me, there was a hero there among the hostages. He was French, and his name was Michel. But it wasn't Michel Cojot. It was Michel Cojot.
Wow.
And that's how I found the story.
Okay, interesting. You could make a film about that in itself.
Yes,
that's
the
next
the
one.
process.
Yeah.
I am making one.
Are you really? That's the next film?
I'm making a documentary short about that, yes.
There we go,
I'm calling it Nights of Flight 139.
Yeah, that's a fascinating story as well.
Yes.
Well, I want to talk more about the current project, the one we have here.
Yes, the one that's finished, that people can actually watch.
The one that is finished, yeah. So what was the process of making that film like? Tell us a little more about, the experience.
So I'm a professor of journalism, and I was a journalist. I guess to some degree I still am, but I was a full-time journalist for a long time. And I'm a stickler for really making sure everything is accurate and true. So whenever I make a documentary, I triangulate all the information. So for instance, if I only hear it from one, even if it's a great source, if I only hear it from one source, it's not enough for me to use it. I have to hear it independently from others, not sitting in the same room, right? I have to look at sources such as documents, right? Like passports and arrest papers, that sort of thing. So I'm always doing that. That's my mode of operation. But in this particular film, I did all that more and then double and triple checked everything because so much of it is so crazy. It's just, when you see what happens time and time again, you go, that can't be. That cannot be. It starts with the premise, right? This family man goes out to assassinate a Nazi. But it gets crazier somehow than that. So I spent a decade researching again.
A full decade.
A full decade.
Wow.
And making sure that every single detail was true.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So how long did it take to actually film then after that?
Well, I mean, I was doing it all at the same time.
Together, okay.
Because a lot of the research was interviewing people, right? So I interviewed about 30 people around the world. I interviewed his 4 children, his former wife, his former lover, his boss, best friend, other Nazi hunters, hostages, I mean, on and on and on and on, all over the globe. And that was very much a part of the process. But I wouldn't just, let's say, yes, I spent many hours interviewing them on camera. Some interviews were 3 or 4 hours long. But I spent a lot more time speaking with them beforehand, afterwards, calling back, double checking, getting more information. And some I interviewed more than once. For instance, his son, Michel Cojot, who was in Entebbe with him. He was 12 years old at the time. I interviewed on camera 6 or 7 times. And I've probably spent, now I'm not exaggerating, at least 100 hours over these years on the phone with him, going over stuff, talking about it, getting more insights, more information. Yeah.
That's incredible. Were people really open to being part of the project, or did it take a little convincing? Were they willing to talk about the story?
Some were very excited. Like, for instance, one of the commanders of this mission, a guy named Rami Sherman, of the commando mission to save the hostages, he was very excited to talk about Michel Cojot because he knew that without what Michel Cojot had done, this operation would not have succeeded.
Right.
And he was really keen on making sure people knew that. Others were less. Excited initially to speak. Like his wife, who ended up divorcing him after he set out to kill this Nazi. She was less initially willing to do it, but eventually, yes, she sat down and interviewed and told us her perspective, which was fascinating. Wonderful woman. So some needed a little convincing, but all agreed to do it.
But you had 10 years to do it, so
exactly.
Plenty of time to break him down.
Yes, I was very persistent.
What has the response been like for the project?
So, this is the world premiere.
Oh,
this is the world premiere. So this is the first time we were really showing the very final product in a big way. What I've done over the years, being that I'm a professor at Penn State and have these academic connections, I screened a rough cut of this film on other university campuses. I did it in Penn State too, but places like Northwestern and NYU, and I screened it to get feedback, particularly from young people. I'm very interested to see how young people react to this film and to Michel Cojot. And in fact, some of what I would witness and see, not even necessarily what people told me, but what I would see happen during the screening impacted changes that I made afterwards to the film. So, I showed it in about 6 or 7 campuses over about 5 years, like many different versions of it. And there's one part which I don't want to give away, but it made people gasp, cringe, and turn to each other in the middle of the film and just talk about it in frustration. And just this one scene that drove everyone crazy about what Olivier did or didn't do. I don't want to give it away, but so I went back and told him about this, and he says, I would like to apologize. So I put in actually a soundbite of him apologizing for what he did or didn't do, because it upset people so much that it actually stopped them. They stopped like watching. They're like, what was that? No, So I'm like, I got to deal with that. I got to fix that. And we did so.
Such a very scientific process to filmmaking that you don't see often. It's very interesting to hear the testing and everything.
I don't often do as many. I tend to maybe do maybe 2 or 3 at most.
Yeah.
But this one, the story is so complex. And I'm so determined to make sure that young people are engaged by it that I took those extra steps to do it. Yeah, because I find, I spend a lot of time with young people. I'm on campus. I teach them, so I work with them. And I see that their generation is, it's wonderful in many ways. They have a lot of challenges. And they're driven, I think, in a way that's different than my generation. I'm Generation X. And, we just had a good time and kind of went with the flow. We didn't worry about too much. We're from the 70s and 80s, right? You can listen to that music and get what we're all about. this generation is very determined to make a difference, to have meaning in their life. It's not enough for them to be successful or have a job or make a lot of money. That's insufficient. They really gotta make an impact.
Right.
That was Michel Cojot. That's protagonist of this film. He was just like that. So they relate to him, and they relate to his journey, and they really get hooked by it, and they talk about it. I still hear about those screenings, those rough. I still hear about them. Like the other day, I still heard from the teacher of a high school class outside of Philadelphia, where I screened it, I don't know, 6 years ago or something.
Wow.
Yeah, she just got in touch with me again because, she still hears about it from her students. It just, there's something about this character. He's complex, he's fascinating, and he draws people.
Yeah,
in.
what a testament to how powerful this is.
Yeah, he is powerful. I hope the documentary can rise up to his level. We'll find out.
What is your hope for the project?
To get people to realize that, as cliche as it sounds, people really can make a difference. We're so overwhelmed right now with what's going on in the world. It's so complicated. It feels out of our control. Climate change, wars, artificial intelligence. Just feel like, what can we do about it ultimately, right? And I think Michel Cojot shows that we can do a lot. We can affect the trajectory of history. That's what he did. He did that in a couple of chapters, meaning historical chapters. And I think we can draw inspiration for it and realize, if we try, we just might change the world.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Well, congratulations to you on finishing this project after
Thank you.
So much labor and on your premiere. For people who want to support the project, where should they go?
Easy, to killanazi.com.
There you go.
To killanazi.com. All the information's there. It's easy to get in touch with us. You can drop us a note. We'd love to hear from you.
All right, sounds great. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so
appreciate
much.
Your time.
Thank you for your wonderful questions.
And I'm Michelle Carney with IdeateTV.